This is the 3rd of January 2023. We have a CP4 press here, motor and inlet hopper, screened area. This has a wedge wire screen, pretty fine slots, and a discharge cone actuated by the air cylinder. The air cylinder will push this door shut, the cone, and press cake will fall out this end into the container, and press liquor there. Material we're going to be running is MDF waste. You can see it's got some paint chips in it. The water drained down to the bottom. In fact, it's the post office who delivered this to us, put a double bagged it for us. If I squeeze some, before I can squeeze some, there's water falling out. So there's enough moisture to squeeze it out. Some of this is real dry, no water there, but we're going to feed it just through the press. Okay, the material here, well, I showed you the squeeze test already. We're barely a minute or so into our test, so we won't have an accurate estimate. Well, we'll have a rough estimate of the throughput capacity, and expecting somewhere between 100 to 200 kilos per hour. Yeah. Okay, we're going to start feeding it in. Yeah, don't completely bury the bridge, in case it wants to bridge. Yeah. Our sample is relatively small, so we're starting with the cone shut, and as soon as we get some cake coming out, we'll run a little bit of trash material in these two pails, and then start a time test with the other two pails that we have here. How's it look? Seems to be feeding okay. A little water coming out, hitting. There's the resistor teeth here going into the second stage of compression. See the screw flight going around. 15 RPM, 2-bar air pressure, 2-bar, 30 psi. Okay, we've got some liquid all here at the end. We've gathered samples of the as received. We mixed them all up, tried to get a somewhat uniform idea of the moisture content. Still feeding well. We're not breaking up, having to break a bridge. Press is filling up. Okay, I'll start with some liquid because the first material was just conveyed along. It was not squeezed along. So as soon as I seen the color turn darker, I'll know I got rid of the wet stuff, and I've got some drier cake coming out. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm already getting the wet stuff out, and now I'm starting to get some dry cake. That's how it's feeding out of the press. And I'm going to start the time test. We did have a problem with bridging, but that's because the inlet hopper, this press narrows down. That's just because it's a lab press. Bigger press, we wouldn't have this problem of bridging. Matt's going to open the discharge cone. Not Matt, yeah, you is Matt. I called him Alex once today, but I called Alex Matt. So there you see the cone going open. It's just pushed open by the cake coming out. Inlet hopper cleaned itself out by itself. And we have our samples for weigh. The test, pretty sure it was 5 minutes. Yeah, okay, we're cleaning out the press by feeding some styrofoam into it. Knock that fiber out. Here is the press cake. You can see what it looks like. Very dry. A little slight damage. The weight was about 65 kilos an hour, a little less than I expected. And the split was, we got probably 55% by weight to come out as liquid. So we separated 55% of the sample that was left to us. Some of the water drained out in the post office, but anyway, we got a good separation. Styrofoam in the trash. Alright, Joy, here's the grinding department. Notice the hard surfacing on the face of that screw and on the edges. The screw being welded out back there, probably applying hard surfacing. We go down here, weld station where they're working on a screw. Guy talking on his cell phone. Empty workstation. Another workstation. Another welding workstation. And storage for a screw press. We're waiting for 7 cargo containers right now. This screw, you can see the plates got damaged probably by some cramp iron, and so that's a repair job. Could have been repaired in the field. That screw doesn't show much wear. Anyway, these stainless steel plates you see here, that's our scrap, but these are stainless steel plates. They're all water jet cut or more and more laser jet cut with the serial number of the plate. Another press being stored. Screens in fabrication. And a couple of presses being stored. A couple more stored. There's one under construction. Here we're welding out the frame of a press. Another press. This one's going out to Shell Oil Company. I recognize that freebie thing we threw in the inlet hopper. Another press in assembly. Frame of another press being welded out. And this one is ready to go also. They were working on this one today and another. So we make presses of all sizes. Okay, I get back here and you can see we do make some small presses, and that's a shredder going together. Screw welding department in the background.